Hello and welcome to the Key Stage 3 Science introductory video. Science is the study of the structure and behaviour of the physical and natural world through observation and experimentation. It can be academically challenging, but we also use lots of practical based activities in order to support that. It can teach problem solving, we use data analysis, we use math skills, so we do cover quite a range of different types of skills. The national curriculum separates science into three areas: biology, the study of living organisms; chemistry, the study of matter, the properties and how reactions occur; and physics, the nature and properties of matter and energy. All our lessons take place on the Cotham in-school site in purpose-built classrooms. We are really lucky that we have an area for bookwork and traditional learning, and then an area where we can do our experimenting. We have textbooks available for the students to use in class, and these textbooks are also available to the students online through Caboodle. So this is an example of what our bookwork area looks like. So you can see you've got the whiteboard at the front of the classroom, and then desks and chairs all arranged as you'd expect in a normal classroom. Then on the other side of our rooms, we have our experimental area where all our practical investigations can take place. Our course is delivered face-to-face, so you have a series of taught material and then practical investigations in the laboratory area. There will be independent learning expected of our students through online teaching resources, homework tasks, and online recall resources. And we have a series of different ways of assessing. We have recall practice every lesson throughout the lessons. We have recall and extended writing practice in end-of-term quizzes, and also cumulative assessments twice a year. Our online resources consist of Caboodle, which the students will be given a login for. If the students forget the login for any reason, they just need to see their class teacher who can reset this. And the Caboodle resources will reflect the resources that we use in class. There's also access to an online textbook, which is the same textbook as we use in class, which can be really useful to help with online learning or homework tasks at home. We also use Seneca, which is a recall question resource, and there's other free online resources that you can use, like BBC Bitesize, Physics Maths Tutor, which can really help the students with revision and preparation for assessments. All our homework is set using our online resource, normally Seneca or Caboodle, but the class teacher will also put this information onto Google Classroom on a week-by-week basis, so the students will know when homework is set, when it is due, and what they need to do this. These homework tasks will be recall questions, consolidating the learning from the lessons that they're currently studying in class. Every lesson in science consists of a recall grid at the start of the lesson. This is to encourage students to recall and retrieve information from previous lessons, whether it's the lesson before, a topic from a previous term or a previous year, and some math skills or working scientifically knowledge. At the end of each topic in year 7 and 8, there are class quizzes, which consist of short answer recall questions and then a longer answer extended writing question. The extended writing question reflects more accurately the types of questions they get at GCSE. So we're trying to build those skills in early so that when they get to GCSE level, it's not quite a shock with how much they need to write for the answers. And as I've already said, we have 2 cumulative assessments. So in year 7, the first assessment will be on everything they've studied in year 7 so far, and then the second assessment is everything that they've studied in the whole of year 7. In year 8, the first assessment will consist of everything they've studied in year 7 and 8 so far, and then at the end of year 8, the second assessment will be everything they've studied in year 7 and 8 so far. These assessments are marked by the class teacher, and the students will be given one of 4 grades: working below, working towards, working at, and exceeding. In year 9, we start our GCSE science course, and every student starts the GCSE separate science course. At the end of Year 9, when students do their options, they are then given the choice of whether they choose to stay on the separate science course or go on to the combined science course. This choice can't be guaranteed because it is class size dependent, so it will be dependent on how many people choose which option. The combined science, you still study all three GCSEs, biology, chemistry, physics, but they are combined into 2 GCSE grades. There are 6 exams, each of an hour and a quarter, and the content is slightly less than on the separate science course. Separate science course, you have separate GCSEs, a GCSE in biology, a GCSE in chemistry, and a GCSE in physics. So you end up with 3 grades. There are 6 exams, but because there's more content, each exam is an hour and 3/4 long. And then going forward at the end of Year 10, if students have chosen to do separate science, they must demonstrate that they are capable of staying on that separate science course. So a grade 5 is a minimum we would expect at that point. In Years 9, 10 and 11, because it is a GCSE science course they are studying, we do end of topics tests, which are more like the GCSE style questions that they will get in the exam. So these will be 1-hour class assessments, and students will be expected to prepare for these. They will know what they are using their knowledge organisers, using their revision notes, Seneca, Caboodle, and produce revision resources, which will then help them with their mock exams when they get into Year 10 and 11. To support the course, there are CGP combined and separate science revision guides and workbooks. There are Key Stage 3 versions of these available as well. There's revision cards, and using Caboodle, because it is an online textbook, will also help students for looking at facts after a lesson, revising, or for homework. So thank you very much for listening. I hope that's ironed out any queries that you may have.